Seriously, the Texans. Who knew? Welcome to the jungle, everyone. I'm Kyle Phelps, and my power rankings at the beginning of the season were hot garbage. Good news is I'm still here. I think I took on way more than I thought I was going to when I signed up to go back to school at 31 years old, so sorry if I haven't done any videos in a minute, but we've seen some of you in some of the live streams I've been doing, so shout out to those of you who are still showing up for the games and for the podcast, and for everybody else, I'm sorry about the absence, but I'm here now and we're putting out the content we're putting out. So what I want to do today is take a look at the power rankings landscape in comparison to where things were last time that I was actually able to get these out, which was this short that I put out in week 1. So here's a recap of how everything looked, and well, honestly, a lot has changed since then. I don't know if the changes would have looked quite as drastic had I been able to put out power rankings every single week and we'd kind of seen the evolution of things over time, but now we're at where we're at, and it's a drastic change. As always, let's do a brief breakdown of the bottom 3 categories before we dive a little deeper into the teams that matter. So first of all, I think we can all agree that the 0-6 Panthers are the worst in the entire league at this point. The Colts and Bears were a little worse than I thought they would be, and dear God, I was so wrong about the Broncos. Like, I feel the need to formally apologize for, giving any Broncos fans, because a couple of them watch my channel. I feel bad for giving y'all a little bit of hope. It's a disaster there in Denver. I didn't think Sean Payton was going to be that bad, man. I had them in the playoff hopefuls, and at this point, like, they're lucky to not be the worst team in the league. Giants too, although in their situation, I think that's more got to do with, like, injuries, so that's why I don't have them as low as I have the Broncos. And then, like, the Vikings, honestly though, I think that's just the Vikings just genuinely looking as bad as they actually are. So, that's part of it. They don't have Mike Tomlin as their coach, so they don't get away with bullshit all the time like they did last year. Then there's some teams that I feel like are almost there, like the Browns, That Browns defense is elite, like elite. Like, that might be one of the best defenses I've seen on a particular team in quite a while in the NFL. I haven't seen a defense like that for years, man. Alright, so let's go ahead and dive into the good stuff now. I'm not quite ready to buy into the Saints or the Steelers just yet, but they're both like right on the edge of being playoff teams. In both cases, I just want to see a little bit more out of their offense before I really kind of buy into it. So at number 14, bringing up the rear of what I expect to be the playoff teams is the Houston fucking Texans. Yes, you heard that right. The Texans might be the most improved team in the league this year. CJ Stroud has been a godsend. D'Amico Ryans appears to really have them on track in a way that I think a lot of us thought, hey, that's a really good hire for the Texans. But, it really all is kind of coming together. Number 13, the New York Jets are clearly a solid football team. They would have been really competitive if Aaron Rodgers was playing. Unfortunately, they get Zach Wilson, but, Zach Wilson's looked really good ever since, he miraculously got really good after seeing Donna Kels at one of his football games. It's extra crazy because they're looking fairly competitive without Aaron Rodgers. Like, he got hurt for the season. We thought their season was done, but they're actually still being competitive. And speaking of surprisingly competitive, my Cincinnati Bengals are at number 12, and honestly, they would have been way farther down on this list like a week or two ago because of the way that they started the season, like especially after just embarrassing the hell out of me. And go back and look at the comments section in that Titans game. But after a dominating, and I mean dominating win over the Arizona Cardinals, and then a solid win over a strong Seahawks team, I think we can officially say that the Bengals are dangerous again. The offense, we're still not 100% sure what's quite up with that offense, but they are a dangerous football team, so I can't keep them out of the playoff race at this point. Finally, you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at number 11, and Baker Mayfield might not be Tom Brady, but he is a hell of an upgrade over who we thought was going to succeed, the GOAT. Plus, the Buccaneers seem like they have this pretty solid team around him, so I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. Next up, we've got the contenders at number 10. The Dallas Cowboys are still here, but y'all are on thin ice. I really wanted to knock them down more, but realistically, I'm just not quite there yet. If they had not managed to pull it out against the Chargers, then we'd be having a completely different talk right now. But I do think this team still has the potential to be elite. We just need to see them do it on a consistent basis. Number 9 is the Baltimore Ravens, and stop me if you've heard this one before. The Ravens look pretty good to start the season so far, but there's a lot of little issues that have been popping up, and, I've got my concerns, and I'm just not ready to buy in just yet. The story of every season for the Baltimore Ravens, honestly. They'll be straddling the playoff line by week 13, but for now, they do look like contenders, and I don't know if they're going to keep it up, but right now they do look like contenders. At number 8, the Seattle Seahawks were looking as hot as anybody running into their bye week, and then they ran into a pissed-off Trey Hendrickson. Can't really blame them for that one, especially with how they've looked for the rest of the season, honestly. At number 7, I've got the Buffalo Bills, and I'm not even sure they should be this high right now, but they're still a good football team, y'all. Don't forget they beat the crap out of a Dolphins team that otherwise has looked pretty incredible this year. And finally, I've got the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 6. Like with everyone, they've had their share of concerns this year, but they've also looked really, really good the past 2 weeks. Finally, we've got the Super Bowl contenders. At number 5, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. Honestly, this might be a little too high for them considering the results that they've had this season. They just lost to Zach Wilson's Jets, so, call me crazy if you want, but I still think that they're, a Super Bowl contender. So the San Francisco 49ers probably would have been the number 1 team in the NFL last week, but they're number 4 now after losing to PJ Walker's Cleveland Browns, and that's a big problem. Brock Purdy looked like the Mr. Irrelevant that he was in this game. I mean, definitely took some of that shine off the opinion we all had of them, huh? At number 3, the Detroit Lions are legit, guys. Honestly, they might have an argument as the most complete team in the NFL. Maybe not the most dangerous team, but the most complete team. But, listen, I can't realistically put the team that dropped 70 points in a single game, 70 points, like NFL points, 70. I can't put that team any lower than number 2. Even number 2 feels weird. But that's where I've got the Miami Dolphins. Tyreek Hill has been everything that this team hoped he would be when they traded for him. And they did get smacked by the Buffalo Bills, which is part of why I have them, not at number 1 in the NFL right now. But, they're clearly not invincible. Much like the number 1 Kansas City Chiefs. That's right, Chiefs fans. You're the best team in the league right now. I won't deny it. I hate it, but it's true. But then again, should they be? I don't know. They've had some close calls against some less than incredible teams this year, like the Broncos. I know they beat them 19-8. That's great, but Patrick Mahomes did not look amazing in that game. I will give them props for probably putting up the best set of results in the NFL so far this year, but I'm just not quite sure that they're going to stay here. We'll see. We'll see, Chiefs fans. And that is all I've got. Once again, here is what things looked like a few weeks back, and here's what the power rankings are looking like right now. Seriously, the Texans, who knew? Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below, and I'll feature the best ones in my next video, like this one from Hammer4055, who said on my Bengals Titans live stream, "Ha ha 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 ha, get wrecked, son, hashtag tighten up, you have no respect." And this was one of many comments, by the way. I just wanted to highlight this because, I'll take my lumps. I talked my trash. I said the Bengals were gonna win 31-17, and yeah, they didn't. They didn't. That's not what happened. But other than that weird game, who the hell else have y'all beat? The bum-ass Chargers? Forgive me, y'all were coming off of a beatdown. A beatdown. The same kind of beatdown you gave to us against the Browns, so, maybe I read too much into that. I'm sorry. But I'm not gonna lie, I still have no respect for the Titans. I don't. I haven't seen it. Yeah, you beat the crap out of us, and what have you done since then? I don't know. But hey, you know what? Thanks for blowing up my comment section. Man, it really helps out the algorithm. Until then, y'all can always catch more of what I do at KylePhelps92 on Twitter, Facebook.com/ThePhelpsButtFumbleSports, the Battle of Ohio podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, and right here if you subscribe. But like I said, I appreciate all y'all tuning in, so I'll leave y'all, as always, with a hootie!